Most people celebrate the wrong birthday. Your driver's license tells you how many times you've circled the sun. That's your chronological age. But your cells, they run a different clock. That's your biological age. Think of your body like a car. Two cars can both be 10 years old. One was garaged, serviced on time, and driven smoothly. The other was redlined every day, left out in the rain, and never got an oil change. Same age, completely different expiration timeline. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Your body leaves clues every day, not fortune teller clues, mechanical clues, like warning lights on a dashboard. Today we're not guessing your future. We're reading the source code, the markers that quietly predict how long your machine can keep running, and how to rewrite the trajectory before it's too late. Welcome to the biological rebellion. Alright, let's talk about how the body ages in real life. A lot of people think aging is just time. No, aging is wear and tear. It's rust, it's clogged pipes, it's batteries that don't hold a charge, it's software that starts lagging. The three categories. Part 1. The invisible predictors. 1. The software. The epigenetic clock. Your DNA is like a massive instruction manual, but your body doesn't read the whole manual all the time. It uses sticky notes and highlighters to decide which pages to open and which pages to keep shut. Those chemical tags are called DNA methylation. Over time, the pattern changes in a way that tracks aging so reliably that scientists built epigenetic clocks that estimate biological age, and when your epigenetic age runs ahead of your real age, it's linked with higher risk of death and disease. Translation: your body has a software version and sometimes it's aging faster than the calendar. Here's the key point. This doesn't give you an exact death date. It gives you a trajectory, like looking at a weather forecast. It doesn't guarantee rain at 3:17 p.m., but it tells you whether the storm is coming. 2. The engine. VO2 max, or cardiorespiratory fitness. If your body is a car, your heart and lungs are the engine. VO2 max is basically how much oxygen can your engine use under stress, and this marker is brutally predictive. In a massive study of over 122,000 people, those in the elite fitness group had dramatically lower risk of death compared with the lowest fitness group, an adjusted hazard ratio around 0.2i, meaning the low fitness group's risk was roughly 5 times higher on that comparison. And the benefit kept going. No obvious ceiling. In other words, better fitness kept stacking the odds in your favor. Metaphor. VO2 max is your engine displacement. A weak engine can't climb hills. A strong engine has reserve power when life hits you with a steep slope. 3. The pipes. ApoB. Not cholesterol, the particles. Most people argue about cholesterol like it's the whole story. But a big shift in modern prevention is focusing less on how much cholesterol and more on how many particles are carrying it. That's where ApoB comes in. ApoB is like counting the number of garbage trucks on the highway. LDL cholesterol tells you how much garbage is in the system. ApoB tells you how many trucks are driving around, and every truck is a chance to crash into the artery wall and start plaque. So if you want to predict heart risk, ApoB can be a sharper lens than basic LDL numbers in many cases. Now that's the lab side, but you asked for something you can do at home. Something simple, almost shockingly simple. So here it is. You're about to run a set of no excuses tests that act like quick stress tests for your biology. I want you to treat these like a credit score for your body. A credit score doesn't predict the exact day you'll go broke, but it predicts whether your financial habits are taking you toward trouble. Same concept. Let's start. Safety setup. Stand near a wall for safety. Use something stable if needed. If you feel dizzy, stop. Test 1. The sitting rising test. The total system check. This test looks like nothing until you try it. You're going to sit down on the floor and stand back up, using as little assistance as possible. Why this matters? Because it combines strength, mobility, balance, and coordination. In research, lower scores on this simple test have been linked with higher risk of death. Over follow-up. Here's how to do it safely. Stand on a non-slip surface near something stable you can grab if needed. Step 1. Lower yourself to the floor. Step 2. Stand back up. Scoring. Start with 10 points. Subtract 1 point each time you use a hand or knee for support. Subtract half a point for noticeable wobbling. This isn't about being athletic. It's about whether your body still has the hardware to control itself. Metaphor. This is you checking if the frame of the car is still solid or if it's starting to flex and creak. Test 2. Grip strength. The system integrity test. Grip strength sounds random. It's not. Grip strength correlates with total muscle mass, nerve function, and overall resilience. Think of it as a rough readout of how strong your whole system is. Large global research has found grip strength predicts health outcomes and has even been reported as a stronger predictor of death than systolic blood pressure in that analysis. How to test at home. The cleanest way is a cheap hand dynamometer. They're simple. If you don't have one, here's a practical substitute. Time how long you can carry heavy grocery bags, one in each hand, standing tall, shoulders back, without leaning or dropping. Not perfect, but it gives you a window. Metaphor. Grip strength is like checking the structural integrity of a building by testing the beams. If the beams are weak, the whole structure is at risk. Test 3. The 10-second one-leg balance, the control system test. Balance is not just legs. Balance is your eyes, inner ear, brain, nerves, muscles, all coordinating like an orchestra. In a well-known study, failing a simple 10-second one-leg stand in middle to late adulthood was associated with a substantially higher risk of death over follow-up, even after adjusting for other factors. How to do it: stand near a wall for safety. Lift one foot, hold for 10 seconds. No hopping, no grabbing. Try both sides. Metaphor: balance is your body's anti-crash system. When it's failing, it's a sign multiple systems are aging at once. Test 4. Push-up capacity, the functional reserve test. This one is controversial because it feels too simple, but it's a brutal measure of functional fitness. In a 10-year study of active adult men, higher push-up capacity was associated with lower rates of cardiovascular events, and men able to do more than 40 had dramatically lower risk compared with those who could do fewer than 10. Important: this doesn't mean push-ups are magic. It means push-ups reveal something. Do you have reserve strength and endurance, or are you running on empty? If you can't do standard push-ups, do modified push-ups from the knees or against a countertop. Track progress over time. Metaphor: this is like revving the engine and seeing if it coughs or purrs. 2 bonus tests. Fast, high value. If you want 2 more that are simple and powerful. Bonus A. Waist to height ratio. All you need is a tape measure. Measure your waist around the belly. Divide by height. If your waist is more than about half your height, it's a warning sign for visceral fat risk. Metaphor: that's not extra weight. That's fat stored around the organs, the kind that squeezes the machinery. Bonus B. Blood pressure. High blood pressure is silent damage. Like water pressure in pipes being too high. Eventually something bursts. If you don't know your blood pressure, you're driving without looking at the dashboard. Now here's the most important part of the entire video. These tests are not a prophecy. They're a report card, and report cards can change. Which brings us to the future, because longevity is entering a new era. Longevity 2.0, the future. AI and the digital you. We're moving from snapshots to movies. Old medicine. 1 blood test a year. 1 doctor visit. A few numbers. New medicine. More frequent labs. More data. And when you have more data, you can build something powerful. A rough version of a digital twin. A data model that helps predict which system in your body is aging fastest. Not perfect. Not sci-fi immortality. But a better early warning system than waiting for symptoms. Here are 3 big frontiers. 1. Continuous monitoring. We're seeing growth in continuous glucose monitoring, even among people without diabetes, because it shows how your body reacts to food like a live dashboard. Again, not required for everyone, but it's part of the shift toward continuous data. 2. Senolytics, clearing zombie cells. As we age, some cells stop working properly but refuse to die. They linger and release inflammatory signals. People call them zombie cells. Senolytics are a class of drugs being studied for clearing these senescent cells. Promising science, still evolving, not a DIY experiment. 3. Gene and lipid therapies. We're also seeing advances in therapies targeting pathways like cholesterol regulation. Some early human studies have explored gene editing approaches aimed at long-term LDL reduction. This is real frontier science, not mainstream yet, but it shows where the world is headed. Now, let's bring it home. Conclusion: prediction isn't a prison sentence. Your expiration date isn't a date. It's a direction, and the direction is shaped by a few big levers. Your fitness engine, your metabolic health, your muscle and balance hardware, your cardiovascular pipes. So here's your assignment. Pick 1 test from today. Do it today. Write down your number. Then pick 1 lever to improve it over the next 30 days. Because the biological rebellion isn't about living forever. It's about refusing to drift into decline without a fight. Know your numbers. Build your reserve. Rewrite the trajectory. Welcome to the rebellion.